Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre Sukuri coming to you from Tokyo, Japan with another video here on Mestre Vibes on YouTube. I was talking to a friend and he sent me an email and he asked, how do I think things are going to be after we have the vaccine? How are things going to work? How are events going to be? Now, it's interesting because this person also lives from Capoeira. They don't do anything else besides Capoeira. And I wanted to really think about this and reflect on this before I made this video. So I came up with a couple of ideas. Okay. For my students, I have a graph and I talk about how a capoeirista should develop, right? Mestre, there are a couple different mestres have done this, and I've done it for my students, and I think it's really important so people have an idea of how they're going to progress in capoeira as capoeiristas. Along that graph, though, I also have a graph for three different final ends for people who stay in capoeira. One is I call Mestre or Mestra de casa, semi-professional Mestre or Mestra, and professional Mestre or Mestra. Okay? This is 2020. We're about to be 2021. As capoeira evolves and changes, especially outside of Brazil, we see that the people are doing capoeira for long-term, 20, 30 years, and becoming mestres and mestras. And I think sometimes the confusion comes between what the three different types are. All of them are valuable. All of them have to develop and correr atrás, right? Chase after their own information. I made a video yesterday about how, be careful about being an empty sake bottle, right? You could be strong and look nice, but if you don't have the inside filled, then you're not really progressing on all the different things. Take a look at that video. I posted it yesterday. Now, what do I mean by mestre or mestra de casa? Mestre or mestra semi-professional, and mestre or mestra professional, okay? I think this is really important, especially for people who are long-term, because sometimes they think they're one versus the other. But I'm not going to get into that. What I'm going to get into is the people, all of you other people who don't understand the difference and need to understand it. As COVID comes to an end and we get our vaccines and things start moving, especially here for me in Japan, I can only talk about my experience, right? We have summer festivals. Last year we had a lot. It's an important part of my income because I live from capoeira. I pay my rent, I pay my academia, I pay my taxes, I pay my health insurance, I pay my retirement stuff, I pay my wife stuff, I pay my kids stuff, I pay their schools, I put food in the mouth from capoeira. I, like my really good friend, Mestre Ephraim, who does a lot of shows up until COVID, Mestre, love you, bless, God bless, is a professional capoeirista. We are professional mestres. Why? Academia. We live from capoeira. Think about that. Okay? Second, semi-pro. For example, right now I have a great student. He's training. He's dedicated. He's going to open his own class, Formado Pantera. What's going to happen? In 15, 20 years, he will be a mestre, right? If he continues on the path he's doing. But he is what I consider a semi-professional mestre. It doesn't mean bad, and he knows very clearly. Why? Because he's a PhD genius engineer. His job is engineering. He works for a company. He pays his retirement, his taxes, his house, his everything, his wife, his kids, everything from his regular job outside of capoeira. Does that make his value to capoeira any less? No. I'm not talking about value of each position. They're all valuable. Then I have a really good friend who's one of my dearest friends. I'm sure whoever hears this knows what I'm talking about. And he works for a really good company. He makes 10, 20 times more money than I make, but he comes to class every week. He's training. He's traveled with me. He is an intelligent, kind, humble, super amazing friend, and an incredibly good student who's been with me for over 16, 17 years. He knows what he has to do to progress and to be better. His focus is on being a better capoeirista. But his long-term goal isn't to be a mestre. One day, mestre will just fall into, the responsibility will fall onto him. And he will be just as valuable. But he is what I consider a mestre de casa, which means he is an in-house mestre. He'll never need to get paid for an event. He will never need somebody to say, oh, I'll pay for your flight. If they do one day because he has created that value for his name, then that's fantastic. But he doesn't need it. So does that make sense? You have mestre mestra de casa. You have your semi-professional who are going to be making money from capoeira in plus like a little bit extra after their regular job. And then you have professional capoeiristas or professional mestres and mestras like me. I live from this. My wife jokes, and she's a profesora and carinana, and she thinks like, oh, this is my job, but we work together. She does as much as I do. Yes, I'm the one in the front doing all the classes, but she does a lot of stuff that nobody else sees, and I appreciate that. So for me, she is a professional capoeirista, like it or not. And thankfully we make a great team and we're moving forward. So back to the first part. Many people have asked already, once COVID stops, two things. I'm sure everyone's going to remember this. People say, hey, when COVID's over, let's collaborate. And I think now that I've run a live house for 2 years and a events company, I just stop back and go, hi, okay, cool. And in my head, I'm like, this person is not going to collaborate. This person is going to try to take advantage of me. So, oh, let's do something at your restaurant. Exactly. My restaurant. I pay the rent. I organize everything. I have to work. I have to bring in the clients. How are we collaborating? No. Now I know how to run the place and I understand the system. Guys, it's only collaboration if the other person brings in equal value. I don't care if you're the greatest musician on the planet. If you're not going to come in and fill it guaranteed, then it's my event. I'm producing it, right? I'm doing all the risk. Come do a show for free. Show you. I'm a well-established master here in Japan. People know me. My academia is doing great even at this point, and I'm very lucky, and I hope nothing goes bad and we don't take a turn for the worse. But, for example, I have to close the academia. I have to organize a lot of extra work to get people to go to the events, emails. My wife has to translate. She has to send out email. We have to organize. We got to get together. I have to pay for my train to go. No one's giving me anything because I'm doing a volunteer show. If the show has value of something that I understand, for example, a lot of my friends teach in Brazil in poor areas and favelas, and they don't charge because there's no money for them. Come on, first world countries. I've been to events where the person says, look, no one's getting paid, but we're going to do the show in a really nice area and blah, 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 blah. Would you like to do a show? And I think to myself, wait a minute. Back in the day, they're charging $30 for the entrance. Really posh place. And I always ask, are you working for free? Well, no. Then why would you ask me to? Would you take time off of your job, let's say 1 week, to come and clean my academia every day, to teach all my classes for free, but not get paid for your own job? Not on vacation, but your own job. You wouldn't, would you? Things to keep in mind, right? We're coming. I'm really excited. I hope this vaccine comes through, because if it does, hopefully next summer we'll be able to do a lot of events. I got a lot of great kids, adults, and I want to do a lot of nice stuff. And I'm hoping that everyone will support and we can move forward. But for you guys, remember, this is what we do. if you can, think about that. Because I think, like I said to my wife, after the World War One and after the Spanish flu, we had the Roaring Twenties. Recently, we've had, political situation in the United States for 4 years, and we've had Corona, and it's coming. I hope it's coming to an end, and people are going to be excited to get out. At least I know here in Japan, and I hope to be part of that and to have some fun and to do a lot of different things. Guys, respect the people who do this professionally, even if they're just starting out. If someone comes and I say, what do you do? And they say, well, I'm a semi-pro or I'm an in-house capoeirista. Thank you. Why don't you lead the class? Would you like to? I give opportunities. But if it's not your main job, then you still have to pay for capoeira. If you're a professional capoeirista, and this is what you make money from. Anyone who knows me, I'm the first one to be professional and pay for the value. Just a few thoughts. I hope you guys have a great day. Master Sukuri coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, from a house. I don't usually do this, but I wanted to get a couple of things off my chest and think about where we're going to be hopefully in the next 6 months. Lots of peace, lots of love, lots of ashe, Master Sukuri, Tokyo, Japan, Mestre vibes. Guys, if you like what we're doing, I'm doing a lot of great stuff at Mestre Linguiça on our Patreon page. The link's below. Come out, support. We're going to have a big sign up, a sign up rush campaign this weekend. I love you all. Have a great day. Stay safe.